Hi, I'm Sabrina from English con Killian. Today I want to talk to you about immersion in English, how to do it, and why it's not necessary to move to an English-speaking country to improve your English. So many students say to me that they're not improving their English because they can't move to an English-speaking country, or they would improve much quicker if they move to England or Ireland or the US, for example. It can be true that if you move somewhere and you are working there or you are involved in the life, you probably will improve your language skills very quickly. But it's often not true, because I know people who've gone to other countries, but they have stayed with people that speak their native language, or they've been continuing to work in their native language, for example, and they didn't manage to improve their skills. Indeed, we moved to Spain about 12 years ago, my husband and I, but because we always speak in English to each other, our job is teaching English. We speak English to our kids. Most of our days are spent speaking English, so we always had to make that extra effort to learn the language. You have to do day-to-day tasks, and you meet people and you speak the local language. But what I'm saying is it's not automatic that you will improve your language skills by moving to another country. You still have to make an effort, But what I want to say is it is very, very possible to improve your language skills by staying in your own country, but by immersing yourself in English as much as possible. And nowadays, it's not that difficult because you have the internet, you have a whole range of tools to be able to do that. So I want to run through some ways that you can immerse yourself in English more to be able to improve more quickly. So the reason I like immersion, I like the idea of immersion in the language, is because attending a class once or twice a week and doing some homework is great and often quite necessary, but it's not enough. You will find yourself moving at a very slow pace, a slow rhythm, if that's all that you're doing. But if you include some activities in English into your regular daily life, you will find that you will improve your skills much more quickly because it's more natural and you're exposed more to the language. So that's why immersion is such a great way to improve your language. So the first thing that I would suggest is changing all of your digital devices and your social media into English language. For example, your laptop, your phone, your social media platforms that you use, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever it is, change all the language to English. It might be a little frustrating or a little difficult at times if you don't understand something, or if you have some problems and you need to troubleshoot some things, but you will pick up extra language and you will pick up extra English and day-to-day English by doing this as well. And if you go one step further, and if you do use social media and you comment in English, you join more English language groups, you will improve that little bit more as well. So that's one thing to do. Just change all your settings to English language. Watching and listening in English is also very effective. I always advocate listening in English as a great way to improve your skills, because listening improves your understanding, of course, but it also improves your pronunciation because you're hearing the correct pronunciation. It improves your vocabulary because you're hearing it over and over again, or you're hearing new words in context. The grammar because you're hearing it being used properly most of the time anyway. And for example, your speaking skills because of your improved other areas. And then your confidence as well, because you will be able to speak a little bit better and you will understand people when they speak to you. So listening is great. And the ways that you can do this is, for example, by watching movies or series or documentaries in English. If you need the subtitles, that's fine. Start them in your own language, then move to English subtitles, and then try to move to no subtitles. And also listening to podcasts, YouTube, audiobooks, anything at all in English, the news in English, even 10 to 15 minutes every day. And even if you're not fully concentrating because you're doing something else like driving or exercising, it's okay. You will absorb some of the language. So doing this regularly is a great way to boost your learning and to improve faster. Okay. Joining a class, or at least maybe doing an exchange with someone else to practice speaking in English, is also a great way to really improve quite quickly, because the more you practice your speaking, the more quickly your speaking will improve, of course. So some ways to do this could be to maybe go to a website like Tus Clases Particulares and look for someone who wants to learn your language, and they can teach you English. And you could do, for example, 1 hour per week online, 30 minutes each person, or more often if you can. Maybe join some local groups in English, or some online groups in English, or do some activities in English where you have to speak as well. Or if you can, try to attend classes. One-to-one is the most effective, of course, because it's more concentrated on you. But for example, we have small group classes with only 4 people, and they're 100% speaking, while we focus on the grammar and the vocabulary and the business English that you need, practical situations, but in speaking. And they're also quite intense, like an English workout, and they're fun as well. So you enjoy attending them, you know. And the more that you get to practice your speaking, the better your speaking will become. So that's the speaking, the listening. Oh, one other way to improve your speaking as well is to record yourself every day, maybe by WhatsApp audio, for example, or to read out loud. Those 2 things are effective because you're practicing hearing your voice and hearing your pronunciation. So if you don't have other channels like classes or language exchanges, or if you just want the extra practice, try that. It sounds funny, but it works. So yeah, practicing your speaking and practicing your listening. Also, reading in English is useful because you're seeing new vocabulary, the grammar structures, and it's practicing your reading skills as well. And you can also use some English learning apps. There are lots out there. A lot of people talk about Duolingo, for example. That's quite a popular one. I personally find it a little bit frustrating when I was studying Spanish, for example, but it's very, very popular, so you can try that. We also have an online learning platform with online courses and the chance to have conversation group classes and monthly master classes. So that could be one that you can try. I will leave the link below. But, you know, trying to use an app every day will also help improve your skills. The final thing that I want to mention is whatever activities you choose to do, be it listening, classes, or a combination, for example, make sure that they fit with your lifestyle, because this will help you maintain your motivation if you have the time to do that. And there are also activities that you can combine with your daily life. Like you can listen to a podcast while you're working out at the gym, for example, or things like that. So try to combine the activities that you already do with English. If you want to attend an exercise class, try to do it in English. If it's not possible in your area, maybe online, for example. If you want to study cooking, try to study it through English, something like that. But try to think of ways to combine the activities that you do in English. So I hope that advice has helped you. Basically, immersion is key. Try to do things in English as much as possible, and you will see that your level will improve more quickly than if you're just attending class and doing a little bit of homework. So, best of luck with your English. If you want more advice about how to improve your English and some practical classes on grammar, vocabulary, business English, you can subscribe to our channel. And also you can find our free ebook and mini challenge below on how to make your own personal plan in English. See you soon.